So if people come out April 6th, opening weekend, we'll get some love. It'll be great. We don't open up everywhere. We'll open LA, New York.
LA, New York,
Philadelphia.
LA, New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, DC, Atlanta, Chicago.
So it's one of those things where, right now Hollywood is financing a lot of flicks with, us wearing dresses and wigs, which is fine. But if you want to see something with, something a little different coming out that weekend, if not, Michael and I'll be, you gonna do tube socks or oranges?
Oranges.
He'll sell oranges, I'll be selling tube socks on Crenshaw. Have a seat, guys.
All right, let's welcome up our moderator, Cachet Lamar, who's going to moderate the conversation.
Hello?
Hello. Okay. Hi. Just to let you know that at the end of the Q&A, there will be Robert, raise your hand. That's Robert. He'll
Rob
be giving.
Bowman. Stand up, Rob. That's our man. How'd you like the movie, Rob? Good, cool.
Robert will be giving out free tickets at the end, so to everyone who's here. So please stick around.
What kind of free tickets?
What other time into a movie?
To the movie, of course.
So yeah, come out opening weekend.
Where's it going to be playing?
Where's it going to be playing? Well, Rob's Theater is the rave right at where the old Magic Johnson used to be, Baldwin Hills.
Oh, okay.
It'll be all over LA.
But it'll be all over
12
LA.
theaters in Los Angeles.
Good.
The first week is about 60 theaters, second week is about 100 theaters in 12 markets around the US.
And we'll be at a lot of AMC theaters too, some Cinemark, some Regal thing. Yeah. Cool.
Cool. So, just to introduce Mario a little bit, I wanted to say that Mario was born January 15th in Mexico City. Had his first theatrical and most notorious debut in Mandela Peebles' Sweet Back Badass song when he was 13. Yeah. Oh yeah. Instead of pursuing an acting career, he graduated from Columbia University with a bachelor's degree in economics and became an analyst for the New York City Mayor Office of Management and Budget under Mayor Ed Koch. I'm still trying to figure out if I was born.
Shots fired.
And of course, Mario has 5 wonderful kids: Makaylo, Mandela, Marley, Maya, and Morgana. That is a tongue twister.
Yeah.
Okay.
All MVPs though.
So thank you all for coming. And it was a great movie.
Thank you.
I got to see it ahead of time. I really enjoyed it. One of the great things I like about the movie is the fact that you touch on so many social issues. I mean, I can't even count how many things was in this film. I mean, we touch on bullying, and there's consumerism and peer pressure and oh my gosh, like how did you come up with all of this in this one script? What inspired this?
Well, as I said earlier, really it was, these guys right up here. Patrick, we met and during the course of the casting, but I had taken Makaylo and Mandela out of private school, and we put them in public school for a year at Crenshaw and Slauson, right at it was U Park Prep, and so they had that nice soft, private school vibe. We said, let's move them out just to public school for a quick minute. And at the school, if you play ball well, they say, oh, you're trying to be like Jordan. And if you golf well, they say, oh, you're trying to be like Brother Tiger. And they don't really do either well, but they're smart. They're smart.
Wait, I mean, who won the basketball game?
Okay, that's only because I'm worse than you.
Wait,
So, and Makayla was on the debate team, so other kids were coming up to them in the hallway going, hey, what's up, dude? You stand up, man. That's Harrison. What's up, man? We see you, Harrison.
Whoa. Young Mr. Nice.
Oh my God. Oh, on the sweatshirt, HK. Come on up, dude. So kids were coming up to them in school. Come on up here, man. And saying, y'all Negroes are cool too. Y'all are like Obama. And so what was interesting was culturally what that was saying was that, some kids were saying, we know what thug life looks like, we know what ball player looks like, but maybe we also now have an idea of what smart looks like. And so we started taking that thing of maybe smart's the new gangster. You know, maybe some kids now are starting to think about, well, maybe I can play ball, but maybe I could also own a team. It comes up in the movie. Maybe I could sing on this record label, but maybe I could also own the label. Do you know what I mean? So I think some folks are starting to think I can do my P. Diddy or my Russell or, you know, and have an idea of the business side of being what you love. You know, so if I always say there's 3 loves in your life. Do what you love, try to be the business of what you love, try to work with some folks you love, and try to say something you love with it. And in order to do that, you have to know how to make a business out of being what you love. And so that was coming up quite a bit. So that was one of the themes. And of course, the green theme comes up because it's real. Folks are realizing we got 7 billion on the planet, and you know we got limited resources. As you pointed out, I was a major in economics, but economics at Columbia, like probably most other places, was flawed. And the flaw was the price of a chair was, okay, a wooden chair was, you make the chair, take it to market, and supply and demand. They never took into account when the tree was doing it for free. So that's never a part of the price of the chair. We will pay that price. No, let me correct it. Right? So there were a lot of things that came up organically in the context of the movie just because of the face. So a lot of it, what was fun about it was layered, but each audience that watches We the Party comes out with a different takeaway depending on their consciousness. Like we had one audience leave, and I asked this one boy, I said, what did you see? He said, well, don't judge folks on how they look. And this other boy said, yeah, and don't buy chicks off the internet. So depending on your consciousness, you know, you're gonna get a different message.
I must say, I was looking at the film and I kind of blushed, but then I'm sure in your family this is just common, or you guys are just comfortable and open, because there's a lot of cursing, a lot of kissing, a lot of, you know, jacuzzi and... How is that? How is that doing that in front of your father as a director?
I am supposed to be into my sister sexually, so how messed up? You gotta be comfortable if you're gonna be acting like that. Just throwing that out there.
But y'all never get together.
He's talking about Michelle in the movie is our sister, so.
Yeah, she's a. You know what it is?
Yeah, now y'all get it. Y'all like, what?
I know. Out of context, that might be a little like, what are you talking about?
But how did you like pitch that? How did that like?
Okay, so what it is with this? And I wanted to go to. They were going to these underground clubs, and I said, no, y'all can't go without Dad. So they went with me. But then the deal I made with them is, you talk the way you talk, party the way you party, keep it real. I just want to know that you're safe. So I went incognito, sort of as their, bouncer guy. And I went with them to all the clubs, and I just started writing it down. Where it came from, and all the different characters came out of that. In terms of being comfortable, you can see, here's the deal. Like I said earlier, you can make a movie how it is or how you want it to be. Has anyone here seen Project X?
Yeah.
Okay, anyone who's seen Project X knows we're like PG compared to that. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, has anyone seen 21 Jump Street?
Yeah.
Okay, so again, in terms of the stuff that's out there, think about this. House Party was rated R. Fast Times at Ridgemont High was rated R. The Original Fame was rated R. Breakfast Club, rated R.
Risky Business.
Risky Business, rated R. So we knew this. If you're gonna do a movie with young folks, you gotta do it how they really are. You can't come at it fake. So we knew that. So we said, you can close your eyes to it, but this is what kids are doing. Now, if inside of that, like in the jacuzzi scene, you brought up the jacuzzi scene, the young lady says to Hendrix, she says, listen, if we're gonna do it, it's gonna be safe, it's gonna be special, and it's not gonna be now. And because of that, the AIDS Foundation has come in as an advocacy group and done tickets for testing with the movie. So what's dope about the movie is the young folks are saying, oh, it's real enough to be us, we can get with it. And the folks that have lived a little bit are saying, and there's some intrinsic cinematic, nutrition. That's when you get a good mix. So I think we kind of got a good balance that way. What do you say, Michael, for that? Yeah, cool.
In terms of filmmaking and directing, what's your favorite part of the process?
Oh, I'm enjoying them all. Working with them has been mad fun. The coolest thing is it kind of brought me and Chitra, stand up. There's Mom over there. Stand up, Chitra. She looks like she's 12, but she's not. But what you realize at a certain point is that the peer group outweighs the family group. And what's been so cool with doing this was my sneaky way of buying 2 more years of them having to listen to me. Can you imagine having to do Q&As with your dad, like day in and day out? This is crazy fun. They gotta listen to me. They're on lockdown. I don't have to even wonder where they are. But all of it. I mean, I feel like I've been blessed to do it for like, I've been doing it for a minute, right? My first feature was in '91, New Jack City. That's the first feature I directed. That's a minute, right? That's a trip, right? So I've been blessed to get to be in the game for a minute. And it's changing, but I think there's still a way that you can say things that have heart, that put us out there. And I'll tell you, one of my favorite moments is like when you show a movie like this and people get it. Like we showed this movie in Atlanta, and there's always that one, reverend in Atlanta with the 2 gold teeth. I wouldn't say teeth, they're teeth, right? And so after the show, we showed it in Atlanta, and there was a sister up front breastfeeding her baby. Atlanta, everybody comes. People eating chicken, I mean, all kind of folks. The demographic was crazy. So this one reverend comes out, and he got the gray beard, and he looks at me and goes, "Oh man, Peebles, I love your stuff. Yes, sir. You are what you eat, my brother. And right now, our babies are choosing off the devil's menu. We got to see this ish." So, I mean, to get support like that, that's cool. Or when we showed Badass in Texas, and one brother, who was probably related to the other guy with the gold teeth, he came up to me afterwards, and he said what he loved about Badass was that it was a film, but it was a movie too. And that's cool if you can do something that's got filmic sensibilities, but still is entertaining. So that's the biggest kick to me. It's like my dad, I said, "Why do you want to film, Dad?" Because that's what the people were. They weren't necessarily reading books. You got to analyze who you're trying to reach. What's the constituency that needs you the most? And then how do you reach them? And the cool thing about film is you can do it. I firmly believe that the generation that voted for Cosby to be America's funniest father is the generation that grew up and voted for the Obamas to be in the White House. I firmly believe that when apartheid fell, the 2 favorite shows they were watching were Miami Vice and The Cosby Show, black leading man and a white leading man together. And The Cosby Show, shortly after that, apartheid fell. So we want to be the success we see. So if you can show something cinematically that makes people think when they watch a movie, they might even think when they vote. That's the fun of it. Whether it happens or not, I think it makes a difference.
Well spoken.
Now you gotta ask the question to them. Morgana was a particularly challenging question. She's 14, she thinks she's very smart. So let's hear what's something real good.
Not too bad. Actually, what I was gonna ask was for you guys, were you uncomfortable working with your father? Did you feel nervous? Did you feel like you had a lot to prove? I know you have a grandfather who's a filmmaker and a father. How did it feel following in his shoes?
Well, whatever. Since we were younger, we've always been on set with our dad, seeing him in the work environment, seeing him working with other actors. So it wasn't that new, but it was different being in that position. But it was still a lot of fun getting to work with everyone. I mean, all my brothers and sisters. It was a great first film to do with family, and everyone on the cast was practically family. I mean, Makaylo and Del could tell you that.
Yes. I
can
confirm.
tell you. No, it was definitely a blast. I mean, I can at least say for us two, we're 2 days apart, and we've been working with him for almost 18 years now, because we're always with him, and it's fun. I mean, it was kind of like camp. It's like we showed up, we hung out with kids our age, we shot some movies, but not everyone's in every scene, so we just all hanging out, Crenshaw High School, just hang out, having fun. It was a blast.
One of the important things you learn when you're working with your dad is when he's your dad and when he's Mr. Mario Van Peebles. When he's on the set, when he's being professional, and it's not time to mess around in any kind of way, shape, or form. So I think that's what he might have said previously, is that he had a relationship with his dad where he could work, but he could also be playful and loving and all that. And I feel that all 5 of his kids, well, 2 of them which are not here right now, have developed that same sense.
So there was never a moment where you guys kind of ran into tension?
No, when you're on set, he's Mario Van Peebles. You listen to what he has to say.
We had to set the example. a lot of people are looking at us to, okay, they're gonna slack off because they're not working for it. But what we wanted to do and what he expressed to us, we had to be there earlier than everyone else, so they can see that, okay, look, they're there and there's children. We gotta show up there too, and it's not a joke, you know. So I was late once. You remember that?
I was happy enough to not have to deal with the pressure of him being my dad, but now I kind of like he said earlier, I kind of adopted him. But he was kind of always just playful until the 2 minutes before we had to film. Because his face would go from, hey, how you guys doing? So what you doing now? It was just an instant transition. Yeah. And so that was just, I got to see that dynamic, and I think his playful side actually made it, well, at least for me, it made it easier for me to open up and feel comfortable to do some of the riskier, raunchier scenes.
Speedo shot?
That was a blast. I had fun with that one. Thanks for choosing a 50-degree weather, I guess.
Harrison, you want to add anything to that?
Well, I just want to say that I had a great time filming with these guys. You know, it was a long process. I don't know if you guys know, I played Calvin. I played the gay guy, but I'm not gay.
What about right?
It was a process, you know, of becoming Calvin. I hung out with Cheyenne and Maya, who she also played Michelle. And it was a long process, you know, trying to get into character, but had a great time, you know.
Part of it is, is a kind of, it's like almost like being a parent in a way, and that, as a parent, you can't do your kids' homework, or you shouldn't, right? And if I did, I'd probably do it wrong anyway. So you can't really say, I feel like kids come through you and not from you, right? So you can't really say this one's gonna be my bohemian, this is gonna be my producer, my director. Kids are born and then they'll sort of figure it out, and you sort of have to figure out with them and help them be the best they can be. And I think in a way film is like that. I find that good stories kind of come through you, and if you're egoless enough to listen, even to your kids, you can have mad fun. Like one of the things we found with some of the music, did y'all enjoy the music in the movie? Cool. So like one of the songs that the kids brought to me was this group by the Rejects. I didn't really know who they were, and they were like, Dad, this song is popping. You should put it in the movie. And they went to Michael, and Michael figured out the deal, and we put it together, we put it in the movie, and at the time, Cat Daddy wasn't a single. And now the movie's getting ready to come out. How many hits is it now, Makaylo?
It's like 87 million views on YouTube, so.
So some of the things, we were just in the right place at the right time, because this is, the generational difference is when I did New Jack, it was a push business. A record company could push an artist, they could push a movie. Now it's a pull business, in that, folks are downloading what they want. So when we went to cast it, I was really listening to them, so Mandela, was the one that sort of hit me to YG, and said, YG can come in and do that, yeah. And then, they'd do different things, and then when it came time to dancing, Morgana was at Debbie Allen, so she was doing stuff, and then Chitra helped her put some Bharatanatyam stuff in there, because we wanted to be sort of multi-culti. But a lot of it was getting everyone in the same movie, because you had folks who were broad from Hannah Montana, and That's So Raven. You had folks coming from the rap world, and I wanted it to be real teenagers. I didn't want it to be like Grease, where the teenagers look like they should be college students. You know what I'm saying? So part of it was workshopping it enough and spending time with them and hearing their voices. And saying, oh wow, if that tune's this way and Patrick goes this way, I can get it all to be a symphony. And that's part of the real fun of it. It's not about camera or lighting or script so much as people. And so it does come down to people skills. So.
Wait, so how much of the script did you guys help with?
Well, the elements that you see in the movie are mostly based off of experiences that me, my brother, and all of his kids have had. So, for example, the whole entire Obama thing. I was on the debate team. I was very, very, as what some kids would call, I wasn't very hood smart. When I got put into this school on Crenshaw and Slauson, I sound like a white guy over the phone. So that'll just summarize, how it is. And I eventually got, not really necessarily outcasted in any kind of way, but I was a different type of guy. So in which case I was called a different type of name, and eventually I got the name Obama. And I was on the debate team. And I couldn't play basketball. I tried, but like I said, all I saw was a bunch of black knees. Everyone was way too tall and way too good for that thing. So basically, the whole entire movie is based off of events like that. Things like that have happened. So that's my input.
So was little events like that inspired? Go ahead, Brenda, what you say?
I was just gonna say the Kenway parties. A lot of the. No, that was us. For our birthday, he gives us our traditional little bit of money, and it's a little bit because he is a
5 kids.
Spread that. You want to go to college, right?
But me and him were like, yo, let's put our money together, put $300 for the DJ, we'll get some security, and let's throw a party at the house. We planned this party like a month ahead. How much we made? A rack each? We made $1,000 each. We charged each person $10. So we like
300 each into 1,000.